Police Scarlight breaking news. Amanda Anisimova crowned champion in Beijing. Trophy watcher epic victory. The air above the Beijing National Tennis Center shimmered with heat and history. 15,000 voices blended into one. An electric hum, part disbelief, part awe. Amanda Anisimova stood at the baseline, her chest rising and falling, the racket trembling slightly in her hand. Across the net stood Iga Swiatek, world number one, the titan of consistency. But today, the narrative was shifting. The scoreboard glowed. 6-4, 4-6, 5-4, 40-30. Match point. Amanda tossed the ball into the air. For a heartbeat, time froze. Then, the serve, a blur of motion, a crack of power, a sound that split the sky. Swiatek's return clipped the net. The ball fell back on her side. Game. Set. Match. Amanda Anisimova, Beijing champion. The crowd erupted. Cameras flashed. Fireworks burst over the night sky. The Phoenix moment. Amanda dropped to her knees. She pressed her hands against the blue court, as if to make sure it was real. Her tears shimmered under the floodlights, not of pain, but of relief. Because this was not just another title. It was resurrection. The last time she had been in a final like this, she was 17, a prodigy, a comet streaking across tennis. Then came the shadows, injury, grief, burnout, withdrawal from the sport she loved. Many thought she'd never return, but she had returned, not as the same girl, but as something stronger, a phoenix reborn in fire and fight. And now, in the heart of Beijing, that phoenix had spread its wings. The road back, her comeback, began quietly, far away from the cameras. In a small Florida gym, Amanda spent months rebuilding her body, her rhythm, her belief. She would hit ball after ball into the empty court. No coaches, no fans, only echoes. Sometimes in those lonely sessions, she would whisper to herself, "One day, you'll walk into a stadium again, and they'll remember your name." That whisper became her mantra. Every setback was a scar, but every scar became a map, one that led her here. The week of fire. The 2025 China Open was already chaos incarnate. Coco Gauff, Aryna Sabalenka, and Ons Jabeur had all fallen early. The draw had cracked open like destiny itself. Amanda, unseeded, was supposed to be an afterthought. Instead, she became the storm. Round 1. Defeated Daria Kasatkina, 6-2, 6-4. Round 2. Shocked world number 5, Elena Rybakina, in straight sets. Quarterfinals. Beat Coco Gauff in a 3-set thriller that ended 7-6 in the decider. Semifinals. Dismantled Sabalenka with surgical precision. Each match added another layer to her legend. By the time she reached the final, the entire tennis world was watching. The final duel. Swiatek was no ordinary opponent. She was a symbol of dominance, the rhythm queen, the player who made chaos look calm. But Amanda's eyes held something Iga couldn't decode. Not arrogance, not nerves, but peace. The first set was a masterpiece of aggression. Anisimova painting lines, Iga countering with steel. 6-4 Amanda. The second set turned into a mental war. Iga finding her depth, pushing Amanda to corners until the errors came. 6-4 Swiatek. Then came the decider. For 45 minutes, neither gave an inch. The rallies grew longer, the crowd louder, the energy unbearable. And then, at 4-4, Amanda found her opening. A 17-shot rally ending in a backhand winner that kissed the line. The audience stood. 5-4. The dragon was ready to breathe fire. The final point. The moment the match ended, Amanda's scream cut to the Beijing night. Raw, victorious, cathartic. She collapsed, face to the ground, the racket slipping from her grasp. For a few seconds, she didn't move. Then she rose, her tears replaced by laughter. The crowd began chanting, "Amanda! Amanda!" Swiatek walked over, smiling through the loss, and hugged her tightly. "You deserve this," she whispered. Amanda nodded. For the first time in years, I believe that the trophy ceremony. Golden confetti rained down. Amanda, dressed in white, stood beside the trophy, a gleaming dragon sculpture entwined with crystal sphere. When the announcer said her name, her eyes glistened. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2025 China Open champion, Amanda Anisimova. She raised the trophy to the sky. And somewhere beyond the applause, she felt the presence of her father, Konstantin Anisimov, whose voice had once guided her through every practice. For a moment, the world blurred. She could almost hear him say, "You see, Amanda, the light never left you. You just had to remember how to shine." The press conference. That evening, the world's media waited to dissect her victory. One journalist asked, "Amanda, how does it feel to be back on top?" She smiled gently. "It feels like home. But it's not the trophies that brought me back. It's love. Love for the game. Love for the journey. Love for the little girl who refused to quit." Another reporter asked, "What would you say to players struggling through hard times?" Amanda's tone softened. "I'd tell them this. Pain doesn't mean you're done. It means you're being shaped into someone who can handle greatness." The viral moment. Clips of her match flooded social media. Her backhand winner at 4-4 in the final set became instant legend. Fans called it the Dragon Shot. One slow-motion replay of Amanda falling to her knees under fireworks went viral with the caption, "She didn't win just a title. She won her soul back." Celebrities, athletes, and even Billie Jean King reposted it, adding, "The comeback of the year." The streets celebrate. Outside the arena, thousands gathered, waving American flags, Philippine flags, a nod to her Southeast Asian roots, and signs reading, "We believe in Amanda." In cafes across the world, screens replayed her victory again and again. Kids mimicked her celebration. Coaches replayed her footwork in slow motion. But the real story wasn't athletic. It was human. Amanda Anisimova had reminded the world that glory isn't linear. It bends, it breaks, and then it rebuilds stronger. The next challenge. By the time she reached the 2026 season, Amanda had entered the top 5 in the world. The spotlight was brighter, the stakes higher, yet she remained grounded. Before each match, she would touch her necklace, a small golden feather, and whisper, "Be light," because she no longer needed to prove she could rise. She simply had to stay a light. Reflections of a champion. In an exclusive ESPN feature, Amanda said, "I used to think victory was about being stronger than everyone else. Now I know it's about being softer with yourself, forgiving, patient, unbreakable in your belief that you still belong." Her words echoed across generations. Young athletes wrote to her, saying she inspired them to try again. Epilogue, the eternal champion. Years from now, when fans look back at the 2025 China Open, they won't just remember the score. They'll remember the feeling. The roar when she won that final point. The tears that fell like rain on the blue court. The girl who turned heartbreak into hope. Amanda Anisimova didn't just win in Beijing. She reclaimed her fire, her name, and her purpose. As the Beijing night faded, she looked out the plane window, the city lights below like stars. She whispered to herself, it wasn't luck, it was faith. And somewhere deep inside, the phoenix smiled, ready to rise again. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.